everyone, and welcome back to my Facebook page, Remarkably Created. This is Janet Wakeland, and we are on our final Facebook Live for today. Not ever, just for today. And what we've been doing is we've been introducing the product suites that are in the upcoming 2023 Stampin' Up! Holiday Mini Catalog. A suite of products is a beautiful collection that has an easy I want it all button that you can purchase or use to purchase everything that you see, as well as all of the items are individually available with their own product codes and things like that. I've started with the suites because it gives you the broadest overview of products. And I hope that you're enjoying this style of unboxing versus just ripping a box over and kind of saying, hey, look at this great new stamp set. Instead, I've chosen to, again, break them down by coordinating products as well as then showcasing a few tips and some samples for you. So let's jump in on Winter Meadow. I am not going to lie and mince words and try to sell something that I don't 100% love, I'm going to be honest. And I struggled with this suite. I was excited because I loved the soft greetings and I loved everything that was in it. I loved some of the bonus dies. But as a whole, guys, I'm going to tell you this was the hardest one to work with so far, okay? As far as ideas that just flowed, and as far as getting the items, it's supposed to be a comprehensive, coordinated suite of products. And you're going to see on the samples, I found the need to pull in dies and other items to kind of fit the greetings. And I found that, for example, the snowflake paper that's part of this suite just didn't really seem to go with the Meadow paper, okay? So that's just my honest feedback, my honest critique, my honest review of this. I'm going to show you everything up close, show you the samples that I did come up with. I will tell you that you've got these beautiful faceted gems. I'm all about bling, so no problem using these whatsoever. In terms of bling too, you've got this beautiful ribbon, and you're going to see how easily I altered the color on this. It has a little darker bling of an edge, so the ribbon is absolutely amazing. And thank goodness it's all available individually. The Meadow paper is beautiful, guys. Absolutely beautiful. Let me pull this in for just a second. One of the things that I struggled with was this snow white paper, and I actually didn't even use it on a sample because you can see that the stark whiteness of it kind of almost washes out the papers and doesn't really seem, in my mind, to go. So I'm just being honest with you, just giving you a real critique. So I can't wait to see what others do with this paper. I know that I'm looking forward to maybe making gift bags out of it and some tags. And I know that I'll find other things to pair it with. I just didn't necessarily see how these prints worked other than this paper here with the snowflakes a little bit. I really just didn't see how the metallics kind of fit into the suite, as well as these are all snowflakes, but these are more floral and tree. So that's the foil papers that are part of this suite. They are single-sided, but let's take a look at this paper. This paper I love. This paper, I will tell you, is stunning. It's hand-painted. It's got beautiful colors. It's perfect for some non-traditional holiday cards that you're going to see, but it's also perfect for you've got sympathy, you've got get well, you've got birthday thank yous, you've got winter birthdays. So you've got some prints that are perfect as well too. We're always looking for ideas for manly cards and things like that. So you're going to have some amazing prints. So let me show them to you real quick, real big. And the other thing that I love about this paper is its color combination. Designer paper always gives me new ideas for playing around with color. And in this case, you've got predominantly blueberry, and then you have your shaded spruce. And then they've actually tossed in a little bit of moody mauve. And those are colors I would never have really put together, but they look really, really fresh, really, really beautiful together. So real pretty prints, and then a little bit of washing here. They've also thrown in a little bit of the gray granite. You've got a little bit of Sahara sand. a little bit of Misty Moonlight. So you've got some great colors here. We've got some Night of Navy. You've got your grays and your black. And then look at the silhouettes of the deer in here on that watercoloring. And then for our little berries, they look a little bit like pomegranates. Again, you're back to the greens and the moody mauve. And then when we flip these over, this is actually almost azure blue. So it's kind of a little bit of blueberry and azure blue. And then we've got our Misty Moonlight, our pretty peacock. We've got kind of our gray granite, smoky slate rather. We've got some more of our blues. Just beautiful, beautiful. And I think that they're gonna mix and match well. I think this is gonna go really well with the nativity set. You're gonna see some other fun things that I was doing with it. For example, while I was waiting for 9 o'clock to come, we have a set that has a chairlift in it, a gondola. And I had to put this paper right to use with it. So, and then let me show you the stamp set and the dies, and you'll probably start to understand a little bit why I felt challenged with this particular set. So we have these little partial images of some trees, and that is the shape of the die, or the stamp. So you've got this little one here and this one here. You've got your berries, your pomegranates or your berries. You've got 4 leaves. And then you have the greetings. The colder weather brings us together. May this season sparkle, bring joy and delight, and winter wishes. You also have dies. And you're going to have a die that's going to cut this silhouette out. You have a die that cuts this silhouette. You have a die for these berries. You have a die for these leaves. You have a die for those. And then you have a die for this long leaf. And then you have some bonus dies. This is going to put some snowflakes into the back of your paper. These just cut out 3D stems of different types of foliage. You've got a holly leaf. And then this is actually 11 tiny little berries so that you can add some color if you want to your leaves and things like that with the 3D. And I'll just show them to you real quick on paper. So there's your little dots and then your ones that cut out. And I'm one that I totally believe you can never have enough sprigs of flowers. I love having these 3D type of flowers to tuck behind a verse, a greeting, to tuck behind other flowers, to tuck behind shapes, you name it. I think that you can never have enough of them. So let's look at some samples. Let's show you what I did come up with. Excuse me for just a second. And then I want to give you a tip as well. So this is one of the first samples. I took the pomegranate paper, just cut it into strips and mounted it on shaded spruce. This tag is a shape from the Merriest Trees bundle. You'll see bundles Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as I go through bundles, that the ones that I personally chose to invest in. You'll see that. But for those of you who love putting tags on the front of your cards, you're going to love that. First off, it's a great bundle. So you're going to love having that tag. And then, of course, Christmas is coming. You need tags, right? And this is the Sweet Sorbet ribbon, but it actually blends in perfect. You've got the Moody Mauve twine. Here I stamped and colored that. It almost looks like it was die cut from the paper, but I did use the Stampin' Write markers brush tip direct to the stamp for that one. This is a very non-traditional Christmas card. I used Christmas wishes, the paper stamped directly to the paper, and then just added 3 embellishments to it. Just a nice, simple, quick card, bold and very non-traditional. Here we pulled in the metallic paper, some of that background, and I did texturize this with the snowflake embossing folder. There's a little bit of one of those backgrounds, and then winter wishes. And the ribbon just hides the seam where the paper comes and meets together. Here we snuck a little bit of the snowflake paper up here just to add a little color and to pull in the trees. The trees is from that gondola set. May this season sparkle, bring joy and delight. That is from the Winter Meadow bundle and suite of products. And I used the designer paper to stamp on just to kind of give it just a little bit more softness than the harshness cardstock sometimes. I didn't really want it to compete with the tree. We've got a few of our faceted gems and then that pretty tree background. So for this one, we did a sympathy card, and I borrowed trees from another bundle, but the paper is in there. We texturized that, and I just kept it very somber. And something fancy is where the greetings from with deepest sympathies, and we layered that stamp that is kind of like the silhouette of the trees behind it. Then pulling in those beautiful blues, and here we just tore the paper on the diagonal. This is the back of one of the papers, and then you can see, and I actually watercolored these die cuts here. So I die cut them in white, and then I used a water painter and my ink pads to watercolor those. Your kindness is so appreciated. You're gonna love the 3 greeting sets that are coming. And then we went a little over the top with a slimline card, and I don't know if you can see that in the light. Maybe if I tip it down. So you can see if I tip it down how dark that is. I used a blending brush and Moody Mauve, and I just ran it over the ribbon a few times to give it the color of the Moody Mauve. And then we have this beautiful shimmer paper. See if the light can catch it a little bit. In the 2023-25 in colors. So that is cut with that, and I just extended the sprig from the ribbon up, and then I used some in color dots. So just a tip for you real quick. Many of you are familiar with die cutting, and some of you actually use a brush. Tip to clean out your dies. A lot of times we use this when we have a die that's really, really detailed to kind of push things out of the hole. But another great way to use that is we've got some dies in a lot of our different sets that kind of have these leafy pieces. And if you have ever torn one of these even though it cut well, it's just that, you know, they've got so many little pieces that they just kind of snag as they're coming out. A great tip for you is after you've cut it, turn it upside down and then just roll your brush over it a few times. That will really loosen it up from the cardstock and then just help you pull it apart that much easier without being able to rip it. So the brush tip is an add-on along with the foam mats for your U-Pick tool. But again, when you're working with some of these that have those little edges that tend to catch, and Lord knows I've ripped more than a few of them, pulling them out, trying to have them handy to use. So your brush tip is a good way. Just turn that die upside down and give it a good brush, and that'll work it loose and you won't have any more ripped pieces. So give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Tell me what you're thinking about the Winter Meadow. I'm glad I chose to invest in it. I know that I will use the pieces of the entire suite, but maybe not necessarily together, because this definitely challenged me tonight. So we will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m., 3 p.m., and 9 p.m. Central Time again. We have 3 more suites, to finish up taking a look at. If you do not have a demonstrator here in the U.S. and want your hands on a paper copy that has lots of full color ideas in them, please let me know. Also, if you are interested in my personal specials and offers, I have a great one celebrating my birthday on a massive U-Pick bundle, a whole big collection of all of the pieces. Free tutorials. I put over 20 tutorials in my newsletter every month. That's open to everybody, no matter where you live. Just simply message me your email and I'll get you added. And again, if you live in the US and need a catalog, message me and I will get you added to my mailing list for catalogs. So I will see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we are going to jump into fall. We're going to put winter behind us and we're going to work backwards. We're going to look at fall in the morning, Halloween and in the afternoon, and then we will finish up with some beautiful garden flowers. So have an amazing night, guys. See you in the morning.